Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. So as you can tell by the title of this video, this is all about what to expect from getting your wisdom teeth removed, what I didn't expect, tips, tricks, the trade. Basically, I asked some of you if you'd be interested, and some of you said yes, and so I just thought, you know what? Let's do it. Let's talk about the experience because there's no other time that I think I'm gonna actually feel like talking about it again. So let's just talk about it. And these types of videos can be really helpful. So yeah, let's just dive into it. I have a little list on my phone. So what to expect. I'm gonna go over the basics real quick. So what they're gonna tell you is you're not supposed to eat or drink for 12 hours before the surgery, and that means water too. So nothing on your stomach, basically, so you're not throwing up anytime during or after the surgery, ideally. Okay. They're going to tell you to make sure you have a short sleeve shirt on. If you're wearing a coat, that's fine, as long as you can take that off. They're going to tell you to have your hair pulled back, and they're going to tell you to not have any manicure or anything like that on your nails. And I'll go into a little more detail to that later. They're going to also ask that you have someone to obviously drive you home because you are going to be high coming off of the anesthesia, that word. So now with the basics out of the way, let's go into what to expect in a little more detail. Let's go into the what I didn't expect and just more of what to expect for you if you're watching this about to go into surgery, and hopefully this is preparing you a little more. I don't want to freak anyone out, by the way. Hopefully I don't freak anyone out because I obviously survived. I need to swallow because spit's accumulating in my mouth. I obviously survived, but I just figured these are helpful, okay? Let's go to the beginning of the timeline. With prep for this, when they say nails off, just know that when you schedule with your oral surgeon your wisdom teeth removal surgery, you're not gonna want a fresh manicure, okay? And I had a semi kind of fresh manicure. It wasn't like fresh. I had a throw out, but I tried to milk it for as long as possible. And I had to rip off my nails the night before, and I was trying to soak them in like pure acetone, which that stuff is not the best for you at all, but I had to get them off and it was just a process. So just know that. I really hope that none of you have to deal with getting a fresh manicure, whether it's acrylic or shellac or just nice painted nails, and then having to remove them like right after for surgery. That would suck, so know that. Okay, now as far as getting there, when you are at the oral surgeon and they're like, come on back to your room, and the dental assistant leads you there, just know that they're going to start prepping you immediately for surgery. It's just kind of, that's just how it is. They're not rude and it's not scary. It's just kind of, it's a little ominous just because you're like, okay, like we're putting the bib on, we're putting the heart monitor on my finger, we're putting the blood pressure thing on. The one thing that was just a little like over the top for me that I just didn't expect was that it's like, okay, now here's the little oxygen band we're gonna put in your nose. And I just felt like, I don't need this right now, I'm gonna need this when I go under, but I guess it makes sense that they put it on me when I'm awake. But just know that they're gonna put the oxygen thing in your nose and like everything's gonna get all prepped, and then they like press a button, the doctor comes in, he puts the IV in, and you're out. So it makes sense that it's done that way, but it's also very much like, wow, this is happening, like I'm getting prepped for surgery. Just kind of, just know that, okay? To some of you, this might be super obvious, but I have never been under before, so I didn't really envision it all going down just so like, okay, and here we go, you know? I don't know. Okay, so going into some more things, I have here that after surgery, you're gonna be really loopy, and so maybe get a camera set up. And if none of you have seen the video of me that I released last week, check it out, because it's kind of hilarious. It's really trippy. It was so trippy to edit myself as a loopy person like that. I was having a special day. Going into my point, the narcotics or the pain meds that you're taking, they're probably gonna have to be every 6 hours because that's what I had to do. So a big tip for you is to keep track of your meal times, because basically it's kind of like a little concoction of you have to take this nausea pill with a little bit of food on your stomach, wait like 20 minutes, and then take your pain pills with more food on your stomach. And so you have to time things out so you basically don't make yourself feel really crappy the whole time and sick. And so I had to do this at like, 12 in the morning, 1 in the morning, and my mom was a saint. She'd come in, she'd be like,
here's your yogurt or your pudding, and here's your little pill.
And she'd be like,
okay, like in 20 minutes, take these 3 ibuprofen along with your pain meds.
And so it just know that it's kind of, you really have to stay on the ball, you have to be on track, and it's nice to have, someone taking care of you and making sure that you're staying organized. But I definitely recommend, if it's just you, to be writing down, because you're going to be out of it when you're on the drugs. Which leads to my next point. The narcotics made me so dizzy and so forgetful. I was just out of it. The 4 or 5 days that I was taking my narcotic pain meds, I was just so out of it, just fuzzy brained. I was so glad that I had work off because I was just so out of it. So just keep that in mind. I personally was really dizzy, really forgetful. So yeah, recovery was a lot of laying around. I have written here, recovery equals laying around. I am so glad that I had a week off from work. My boss is great. She gave me a full week off. I told her 3 or 4 days. She knew better apparently. She gave me a full week off, and I'm really glad. So I don't want to freak you guys out if you are going into surgery and you only have 3 or 4 days off from after, but I needed the week off. I just was so out of it and just, in pain too. Like, I remember just waiting for the right time to come around when I could take my meds again, especially early on, because your jaw it hurts, especially if you get lower ones taken out. This goes into my next point of, you are going to be eating soft foods for at least a week. If you're anything like me, I think it was like 8 or 9 days before I could comfortably start chewing on things. I did not expect that. I didn't expect this whole process, the whole healing thing, to take so long, because I feel like overall I'm a pretty resilient person. And don't get me wrong, in my follow-up appointment, my doctor said that my mouth was healing up great. But I didn't expect that it would take so long. It just seemed like a kind of invasive process, just like in the middle of my life taking over. But just prepare yourself that you're probably gonna have to have soft foods for a while. For what I ate, what I recommend, mashed potatoes for savory with some really melted cheese in there to get that savory, pudding, yogurt, smoothies, soup. But I had to even puree my soup. I had to literally blend it in our Vitamix, because little potato or corn or vegetable or meat chunks was just, I couldn't chew. So pureed soup, and of course froyo or ice cream, that's an essential as well. So that is what I had. I couldn't have anything with a straw. They're gonna tell you that too. I just have to add, if you get a milkshake or a drink like that, you cannot use a straw for 2 weeks after your surgery. So just know that, because when you're sucking, it wreaks havoc on your incisions basically, and it's just the wrong motion. So a couple of other things I have on here, which might be obvious, is no driving. You cannot drive when you are on the pain meds that are prescribed. I didn't really think about that. I didn't really plan on driving anywhere because I was feeling like such crap. But just know, you can't drive when you're on the narcotics. So for something that I did not expect was I couldn't go tanning. I couldn't be in the sun, no sun exposure at all, because of the antibiotics that I was on. And that's actually true to a lot of antibiotics. And I just didn't realize this because I'd never had to be on them before. So that was sad, because it's been really sunny around here lately, and just now I'm able to actually get back in the sun because I'm off of it. So keep that in mind. If I was to suggest to anybody when to schedule their wisdom teeth appointment, it would totally be winter time, when there's nothing going on, no parties, no nothing, and just you know, just pick a time of year that's really kind of dead and go with that, because that's kind of going to be your life for like a week. And the last couple things I didn't expect, I hope this doesn't really gross you guys out, but I mean, I would have appreciated knowing this in advance. You are going to feel like, just oral wise, you're going to feel disgusting, okay? Because, especially in the beginning, because your mouth is constantly like seeping blood. I know it sounds gross, guys, but it's something we're all gonna have to go through. Probably all of us, most of us. Those out there that are missing their wisdom teeth, or they can fit in their mouth, whatever, but they're probably not even watching this video. But anyway, I just remember feeling like so gross, and my mouth tasted and smelled like blood consistently. And I would just say, keep on top of the salt water rinses. Ugh, as disgusting as they are, I hate salt water rinses. I've gotten really good at them, but keep on top of that so you don't allow any kind of bacteria to form. I'm still doing salt rinses every day, every other day, but like once a day now, just to make sure that there's no bacteria forming in those poor recovering incisions. So yeah, just heads up, just be prepared. You're not gonna wanna like just be breathing in people's faces a lot. I mean, you shouldn't really do that anyway, but just know that. Also, side note, it's like the best day ever when all of your stitches come out. They're supposed to be like dissolvable, and when the last stitch came out, I was so happy, because stitches, just having that material in your mouth when you're trying to eat, and you can't brush too much by the incisions, otherwise you're gonna make it bleed, which I did earlier today. I got a little too vigorous in my brushing, I guess. And so it's like, I feel like they could collect food, and that's why you do salt rinses. But it's like, again, just the oral, just be prepared for that, okay? And lastly, the only other thing I have on here says that it will hurt to smile or form any facial expressions, especially if you have dimples. This is really true, and that last part probably sounds really weird, but if any of you are a part of the dimple gang, you know what I'm talking about. Even smiling in general, I feel like, can put some wear and tear on your dimples. Does anybody else have their dimples hurt sometimes? I mean, it truly is like a hole in your muscle on your face, right? So anyway, it's still now is tender to do something like that. Feels like, ugh, it kind of hurts to make expressions. Definitely much better now, but just know that making expressions freshly after surgery is not fun. It's like smiling and laughing it's hard, like your face hurts. So just know that. I just didn't expect all this, you know? There's some things that I was like, yeah, that makes sense, but I just figured, you know what? I'm gonna write down a little listy for you guys, and even if it's just one thing that sticks out that you didn't think of, hopefully it's of some help. And if some of you are watching this and you're not even gonna get your wisdom teeth pulled out, thank you for watching my video, because I love you and that's awesome. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back next week with another video, and I promise this next video won't have anything to do with my teeth because that would be kind of redundant, kind of monotonous, kind of boring, and I understand if this video is even boring, honestly. Oh, and comment below if you guys have any tips for people who are going to get their wisdom teeth out soon. Because, yeah, let's help each other out. Let's do this. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for watching. Keep smiling and have a wonderful day. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Why do I slap my leg after that? I need to get in the mood. Okay, here we go. Oh, airplane. Oh, man hair. I was like, anesthesiologics. I have here that paint the, oh my gosh. It's nice to have, you know, a caretaker. And that's actually true to a lot of antibiotics, probiotics. Okay, so, oh, hair's flying. So that's it for the video today. I hope there was some things that you learned. I already said that. And comment below if you... Oh, I love you and that's awesome and... Ow! I was gonna say that's cool, but... Woo! Alrighty, Daddy, thank you guys